To be a man? It's a hard question because there's so many different things that come with that.
It means you kind of got to do what you have to do. Sometimes it may not be like a happy thing or it may not be a good thing, but you got to do it because there's no other choice, No one else is going to do it if you won't. So.
For a man, you're not allowed to really cry or show that you have any emotional attachment whatsoever. You have to be cold and calculated.
Don't get over it. You'll forget about it. Just move on to the next thing.
You get that whole be a man thing, like toughen up, like why you being a little,
You can't really show that you are emotionally attached in a way, just because you can't show emotion.
I feel that as if men, even growing up, that you're told to be something, and maybe that's not what you want to do, but you're told all your life that you have to be this manly figure that's always very stiff like this. But not all guys are like that. A lot of guys do have a heart and have a lot of emotions, and so being told something that you aren't, it's very hard to wrap your brain around it.
Like if I'm a woman, then I'm surrounded by love all the time. Getting treated like everything's gonna be like okay, I don't know.
I wish that it wasn't so confining because if I ever thought one day maybe I didn't want to dress the way I did, but I still identify that way, people would question how I feel about myself or how I identify, where it's like I know who I am, but then people would question that just because of how I look.
The whole reason I have a beard is because my older brother has a beard, and it's been a competition between us to try and outman the other for almost my entire life.
I would say that masculinity is too stereotypical because everyone expects you to be this big, strong guy, and if you're not that guy, then you're criticized.
I think it's helped me grow, just knowing that I'm not the typical masculine guy. I feel like I've learned to be myself.
I think when I was coming into my identity as a trans dude, the biggest thing was how I would be perceived by others, and that would affect what I do, what I like, my interests, my appearance. On the appearance side, it didn't bother me that much because that was what I was comfortable with. With interest, I was a little bit more nervous because of maybe the things I like or the way I act. That would be judged as to how I identify. And just because you're interested in hobbies that aren't necessarily masculine, that doesn't take away from your identity. I struggle. That was just a big deal for me, especially when it came to having to almost feel like I had to prove that even though I wasn't interested in certain things that were necessarily masculine, I was still a guy. And that was probably the biggest deal I had to come to terms with, and just say, no, this is who I am. That's not going to affect how I define myself. That's just a part of me. That doesn't take away the other parts. So I'm perfectly fine with being masculine in some aspects and masculine in not for others. Because at the end of the day, I'm a good guy. That's just what I am.